Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, first of all, I wish to support the motion. And my worry, Mr. Speaker, is not passing this motion on this floor. My worry is the implementation part of it, which is very unfortunate. This Mira has been a problem ever since, as long as we can remember. It has destroyed families, destroyed marriages, and you can see a family or children with their father and their mother where the father is always absentee, Mr. Speaker. I remember one time I was watching a preacher, a Islamic preacher on YouTube, and he was trying to tell people the effect this thing could have in the lives of the families and the relationship between the children and their father. And he said one man once told him, one day he stayed at home, he didn't go to the children, and it was getting late, and there were some children who were playing in front of the house, and he told them, you go home, and one of the kid was like, this is my home, you know, that was his son, and he didn't even go. You can imagine what Miran could do, because that man was just producing, but he didn't even know that he had girls or boys. And he couldn't even tell his children from the neighbor's children, which is very unfortunate, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, when you see this Mira was going to an extent where the women are chewing. I remember one time during campaign we were moving around and I met some ladies who were chewing, and she told me, you know, when you people go to sleep, as we still continue campaigning, because they are right away right. So it's very unfortunate. And you know, that particular time she's sitting breastfeeding a baby and she's chewing. You can imagine what's going to happen to the system of that kid. And if he's being breastfed by a mother who's chewing, what is that kid actually drinking from the mother? It was very unfortunate. So we can't start talking and finish the effects Mira has in our society. And so I will urge, and I'm going to challenge the chair of the committee of implementation. As soon as the 60 days lapse, we want to see the implementation of this motion, Mr. Speaker. Of course, we felt yesterday that we didn't get enough support from the office and the office of the clerk, Mr. Speaker. And we had a lot of problems since the last few days. We did not get enough support. And whether your parties are or your party to it or you're privy to the information, we need your support on the implementation of these great motions members bring. Mr. Speaker, you want a business in the house or the floor of the house, and you know when these things, you don't see the motions being implemented, response from the executive, you see you just get bored and you see there's nothing going on. Mr. Speaker, we want this house lively, we want business in this house, we want our whatever we say, the resolution of this house, taken seriously, implemented. That's what we're looking forward to, because and your leadership. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Mariam. Honorable Farah. In the interest of time and with the fear of not also losing the momentum for the motion, we just limit ourselves to 3 minutes, please, each of us.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mike, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, from one side, I stand to oppose the motion. Mr. Speaker, we have lost the war of Mira a long time ago, when our country at the national level has regarded Mira as a cash crop. And the war of Mira, Mr. Speaker, will be future. Mr. Speaker, as we speak, our country, if I may ask, is Mira legal or illegal? Mira is illegal. And from that perspective, Mr. Speaker, you can understand that Mira is a cash crop in this country. It is generating a lot of revenue for the country. And Mr. Speaker, most of the people that are affected are ours. But on the same breath, Mr. Speaker, if the country, as the national laws are regarded Mira cash crop, and through a gazette notice was changed from being illegal to legal cash crop, Mr. Speaker, this war we are engaging is a serious setback for us, especially those of us who come from the vote-rich areas in the Dark constituency, where most of our people, Mr. Speaker, consume this thing day in, day out, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this matter will be a tall order for some of us. I want to say that, I want to believe in that. And Mira is also regarded in some context, a leisure within certain parameters, where people enjoy it during their holidays, and when they feel fatigue, Mr. Speaker, they go and buy the most expensive one, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I understand it has a lot of names. They call it Giza, some of them are called Matogora, it's called Surba, Matogoro, Kangeta, Alele, Malombilo, Bogo. All these names is a variety of Miran, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I wonder sometimes back when I went somewhere and asked what is the cost of this one. It is costing as much as 5,000, some of them. That is a sale of a good price.
Yes,
A
Honorable
sale of a good price, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Abdurrahman, yes.
Thank you.
Please rise with the mic.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the beer that the traders are selling is also legal in Kenya, Mr. Speaker. Is the member in order to mislead this House, Mr. Speaker? To say that Mira is legal, while we know beer which is being sold and fought by the government, and regulations are being passed in some other county assemblies, and even national government, Mr. Speaker, is the member in order, Mr. Speaker, and he needs to say the facts. There are so many legal things, but you must have regulation, and that's what the member for Hanuko has just raised in his motion, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. Honorable Farah,
Yeah, thank you, Mr.
please
Speaker.
speak to the motion
Yes, thank you very much.
on the regulations.
Mr. Speaker, on the Crops Act of 2013, number 16, Mr. Speaker, Mira has been regarded a cash crop, and it is illegal as we speak. I made my research, Mr. Speaker, and I understand it very well that the member for Sampuri is not right on his, Mr. Speaker, and also on the Gazette notice, number 28 of the 25th January, that was on 2013, Mira has been regarded a serious cash crop, just like beans and other cash crops in the country, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with those few remarks, I oppose the motion. Thank you.
I think he opposes the motion, but I think if I'm not wrong, I might be persuaded to intervene at this juncture and try to inform the member that the motion is not banning Mira. The motion is addressing the age to which they can be sold, the type of sale, the place of sale. There's nothing wrong. Okay, proceed. Please address yourself to the intent of the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the details, the content of the motion, Mr. Speaker, and I attacked myself to the content. Mr. Speaker, we have to speak about whether Mira is first illegal or illegal. In that context, Mr. Speaker, I have all the right to oppose it. I have all the right to contribute it against the sentiments or the content of the bill without making reference to what, how the bill is draining itself, where it's heading. Mr. Speaker, what you are speaking about is cut, that's Mira. And I have to speak from a content that I understand that first I must understand what this Mira is. is it legal or illegal? And from there, Mr. Speaker, I contributed opposing that even implementing or making sure that traders and other end users cannot be cannot be told that they can sell at what time or stop at what time. Once this is a legal crop, then it means what we are trying to address is against the national law. And Mr. Speaker, I would have been very happy if we domesticate the national laws so that they can give us how we can at least engage what we are doing. At the national level, that's how I understand, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable Abduali, and then Honorable Yunus. Honorable Fatima.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to contribute this important motion.
Proceed, Honorable Wali.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity to contribute this important motion. Equally, Mr. Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to thank the mover of the motion, Honorable Adom. And I also wish to support the motion. Mr. Speaker, sir, this cat and Mira is really affecting our society. It has affected both social life. It has also affected the health of our society. The majority of our youth are consuming this Mira and cats, and that's why this lung cancer is very rampant in Garissa County. Mr. Speaker, sir, it can even sometimes affect the fertility of men. That's why even the rate of divorce is very high. If you go to the Khadi, the last time I was just seeing another data from the Khadi, the rate of divorce is very high, and that one is attributed by this Khat and Miran. Mr. Speaker, sir, I've even noticed nowadays there's a shisha, which is also rampant in this house. But the funny part in shisha, people are using in a very comfort zone place, not like in the Mohaha and the Khat. People who have maybe some economic activities, those people who are using. And in fact, this one is coming up nowadays. And in fact, it is the high time, both the leaders and also the chefs to come out and fight this shisha and Khat. The other thing, Mr. Speaker, I noticed, and that one has happened in my ward just some few weeks ago, the chefs have mobilized and elders, they have come together and they flash out all those people who are selling Khat and Mira in Sakha towns. And I was very much happy to see that one. These things need a collective effort. If we fail to fight for the Khat and Mira, then we will not expect future generations of this society. For those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I fully support this motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Yunus, a member from Asalari.
Thank you, Speaker. As said by many, the motion is timely, and I think every member should support. I wanted to say that whoever that will support the motion is a consumer, but Honorable Abu happened to be the first person who opposes I'm not sure he consumes, but so, Honorable Speaker, this Mira or Khat has a negative impact in our society, and everyone knows, the problem it has. I think, I don't like to remember last week at one when we were in Masalani, the chefs and the elders were really complaining about it, and everyone understands the negative impact it has on the society. The staffs, even in the county government, the county staffs, even in different departments, like health, water, and other departments, are even unable to perform their duties. Because if someone consumes the whole of the night, and you expect him to go to work 8 a.m. in the morning, which will not be possible. So you can understand, the problem they're posing even within the community. We have talked about the sale, the licensing of traders, and the consumption. the designated places. The kiosk that's being sold Miraa, it's only Miraa that's sold there. There are many other things, there's banks and many other things. So I think on the consideration, or I think the honorable member gave out two considerations, the one of listening and the one of the leverage of the social media and other online platforms. I wanted to suggest the third, another point, which is, it will be necessary, for the county government to establish an agency that maybe can regulate or enforcement officers, because you cannot pass a bill and you don't know who's going to implement it in the town. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Fatuma. And then we'll take it back to the move of the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Thank to Honorable Member from Ulugo. Mr. Speaker, from the onset, I rise to support the motion. Drug and drug abuse is a matter of social, economic, and even political concern in present Kenya today, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Miraa is not, according to researchers, Miraa is not the major problem, but the problem is the frequent use of Miraa and its significant amount. That is the main problem. Mr. Speaker, Miraa, according to WHO, which has proved wrong to our community, has been recognized as a drug of abuse. But in our community, we take Miraa as if it is not a drug, but we have been proved wrong by the WHO, World Health Organization, in 1980. Mr. Speaker, I suggest, since we said it is not banned in our country and it is recognized as a cash crop, I suggest that we regulate a law that minimizes the use of this drug. A law that minimizes is the word that I emphasize. A law that emphasizes the use of Miraa. Otherwise, thank you.
Honorable Ado.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I just want to reply. First of all, I just want to thank members and congratulate them for their contributions. Everybody deserves the respect to his opinion. My learned member, who is a senior most member, has his opinion why he opposes, but I just wanted to guide him that I respect the national law. I'm not banning. I just want to regulate the use of it, just like the way Honorable Abdurrahman has said that the beer is also legal, but it has been regulated on the use and where to sell and who to sell to. So my opinion was just on the license, because everybody, Tom, Dick, and Harry can just open that business of selling Miraa anywhere, at any time, at any place. So if they are being regulated with the license and they are charged, and they must be asked where they are getting this permit, that is what I wanted, for my opinion, to guide the county to have license of who is selling. Also time for selling. You see, very early in the morning when children are going to school, these things is laid open market within the schools, inside madrasa, outside madrasa places, where social gatherings are, market places where people are selling vegetables and edible fruits. Just Miraa is just adjacent to them. So I just wanted to guide on where to sell also, and time to sell. And also people to sell to, because you cannot sell a beer to a young going to school, like 8 years, 9 years old children. So I just wanted also the county to liberate on social media, the social impact of Miraa. Those are my opinions in the motion. Mr. Speaker, the way Changa is a challenge in Mount Kenya is also Miraa and Mogoka is a challenge to Garissa. That is my opinion. Mr. Speaker, these days we are cattle herders. Even those people who are herding cattle, they will say if you will not buy us Miraa, they will not look after your goods, after your camels. That is becoming a challenge, Mr. Speaker. The very funny thing is, Mr. Speaker, the recent rainfall, where it has rendered all our roads impassable. But I don't know where this thing is passing. the farthest end in the Majari, the farthest end in Lugo, Mira is going to that place. The very funny thing, while we were struggling to give people food to sustain their hunger, when we were airlifting, a mother came with a basket of a Mira at the airport, telling, asking the pilot to deliver this to Lugo. That is how the telling is, Mr. Speaker. This thing is becoming, a social right, in our setup. This thing, I was, encouraged by one of the madrasas that I attended together with Honorable Abu and the majority, the CS for Defense was a guest of honor. A sheriff stood and, requested us as a county assembly to legislate this kind of, effect of drug in Garissa County. I was being motivated. That is when I came up with this motion, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I really congratulate the Garissa County Assembly members for standing with me and supporting the motion. And I have, really encouraged and impressed how, timely the motion is. And I think in the terms of implementation, where Honorable Yunus, implementation status is not our role. It is the executive members to do their own way, because we will pass the motion, the resolution. We cannot guide them how to implement. They know they can have their enforcement from the municipality to do that kind of implementation. So, Mr. Speaker, it will add more cost if we suggest an agency to carry out that kind of thing. It will come, many implications come in. So, but this one is just administrative issues that can be organized within the county setup. With those few remarks, I really congratulate and thank the members for their support. Thank you.
I think now the matter having been exhaustively ventilated on, it's my sole duty now to put the question that pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 50, bracket 2, I now put the question that this county assembly urges the county executive committee member responsible for trade matters to establish measures to regulate the sale and consumption of miraa, taking into consideration 1. Licensing of traders, time of sale and consumption, designated places of sale and consumption, and ages of the consumer. 2. The county should also leverage on the social media and other online platforms to reach the youth with tailored prevention programs and regular factual messaging to counter myths, misinformation, and misconceptions related to alcohol, drugs, and substance abuse. May as many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. May as many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next. I don't see the majority, neither the minority here. I would like any member of the House Business Committee to take us through the notice papers for the week. Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg the tentative business for Tuesday. It's notified that the House Business Committee has approved the following tentative business to appear in the order paper for Tuesday, March 19, 2024. One was this motion that we discussed, motion urging the County Executive Committee member responsible for trade matters to establish measures to regulate the sale and consumption of miraa in our county. The motion mover is here, move. Honestly, the House Business have approved. The House Business have approved the following tentative business to appear in the order paper. One, statement regarding pending bills by Honorable Fatuma Adam Abdi, nominated member for NAPK. Also, on Thursday, we have the tentative business that was approved by the House Business Committee is statement regarding status of library services in the county by Honorable Fatuma Hakar, MCA, nominated member for UDA. Thank you.
Next. Before adjournment, just allow me to reiterate on certain communications I've made. And that is the issue of live streaming. I know this is not live streaming today. This is recording. And I think we also have a Facebook page where even if there's a problem of internet, I understand. I just want to be very clear that there's an internet problem because of the infrastructural refiguring going on with the new construction. The internet provider hasn't been able to fix the internet back again. However, that does not stop the department from improvising any means possible to ensure that the members' businesses are transacted live. Through even the Facebook page. Therefore, I order the communication department to up its socks, to up its game, and effective tomorrow morning, and the subsequent sessions. Please do not subject us to what was happened today, where we have to suspend 20 quality minutes of a matter that you are employed for. It's all guided. Secondly, the issue of resolutions. I would like to assure of my unwavering support and commitment to the relevant committees headed by the implementation committee. What you are doing, what you have started, is what is expected of you. You are not harming anyone by following up what has been resolved in this house. That is why you are here. Therefore, no one can curtail, can stop what you are employed for. So implementation, what is the business of us sitting here under this difficult weather if we cannot have the businesses or the resolutions that we have resolved here, the motions that we have passed here? A lot of efforts go through here, from the secretariat to the motion mover to the members debating, listening to all this. A lot of efforts goes through here. The same way the budget is implemented is what I want the motions and resolutions made by the members on departments to be implemented. Please, if there's any member who does not comply with the invites, with the letters, then use appropriate, reasonable measures to enforce summons. Be guided. Thank you. Next. Adjournment. The House adjourned until tomorrow at 9 p.m. At 9:30 a.m.